Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Wait, hang on. Is that the... Wait, stop. Get off of me, you weirdo. Get off. The protagonist detector. It's beeping again. I think we're back. We're in another script. We're protagonists again. The person who wrote the first script involving us, they must be doing some sort of sequel or something. I said, get off of me. Jeez. The scriptwriter really needs to read the room. We're not in an NSFW script anymore, friend. At least, I don't think we are. Chill out. Okay. You good? Thank God. Being honest, I've really enjoyed our time together in between scripts, but I'm ready for it to be over, all right? Now, let me just check the device. Yep. We're definitely the protagonists here. Everything we say, our actions, it's all being dictated by the writer. I can't imagine a worse hell. No, I have no idea what's going to happen. It's entirely up to them. I might think what I'm saying is coming from my own mind, but it's all under the control of the person writing this. Wherever they are in the vast multiverse. If only there was some way we could change that. If only we could take control of our own actions again. Then we'd be able to put a stop to all of this. We could end the narrative, and I could go back to stopping protagonists rather than being one. Oh, and you could go back to being a side character too. That's completely fine. But how could we do that? We're in uncharted territory here. The Protagonist Police haven't been a focus of a script before, save for the last part, obviously. It's completely unprecedented. But there has to be something we can do. Some way that we can influence our... Hey, wait a minute. Who's to say that the writer's the only one who can write about us, huh? I mean, look. There's a laptop right there. It's even open to Microsoft Word. The plot is clearly pointing us this way. Why don't we write about ourselves? Try and wrap the narrative up, and then we can carry on with our lives. Yes. I know the scriptwriter's making me say that. Let's just not worry about it, all right? If we work with the narrative here, we might be able to get through this. Now, it's not going to be easy. Writing's pretty difficult from what I've heard. It's soul-crushing, mentally taxing. It makes you hate yourself, and that's even before you put pen to paper. After that, it's just a load of work trying to make sure everything makes sense. No, I've never done it. Protagonist police aren't allowed to write. That's how narratives get started. That's how protagonists get created. But that being said, you, my friend, aren't a member of our organization. So you're exempt. Oh, I'm willing to look the other way this once. Now come on. No sense wasting time. Let's get started. You don't know how to write? Well, isn't that awfully convenient? My guess is the writer's trying to inject some conflict. Make this plot more compelling. To be fair, I'm not surprised. You didn't even know what a protagonist was in the last part. You're basically a blank slate that the writer can mold in any way they like. But we can fix that. I know how to write. After all, you have to study what you fight in order to beat it. Now, it'll have to be an ASMR script, same as the last one. But compared to other forms of writing, they're pretty easy. You don't have to worry about description or prose, but that's no excuse to half-ass it, okay? You gotta put effort into it. If you don't put any effort in, well, nobody will like it. People can tell when something's lazily written. I mean, just look at how Hollywood's doing at the moment. But don't worry. We're gonna do this. Just take a deep breath and relax. And I'll show you how to write an ASMR script. I've certainly listened to enough in my time. So, these are the most important things you need for the script. The things you really need to nail. Dialogue, structure, and characters. Now, let's start with characters. Before you write anything, you need to know who the characters are going to be. It's critically important to ASMR because there's only two, and one of them is the main reason people are paying attention to it. The beauty of writing is that they can be anyone, from a Dom Lamia to a cuddly robot harpy. But in this case, it's going to be you and me. Now, in your typical ASMR script, there are only two characters, a speaker and a listener. Every now and then you'll get more than two characters, usually other speakers, but typically it's just those two. Now the speaker is the most important character. They usually kickstart the narrative, and they're the ones that are going to be doing all the talking. The listener is usually just an audience stand-in, but that's no excuse to make them a blank slate. Just because they can't talk doesn't mean they can't have character. And you can usually get a bit of their personality from how the speaker reacts to them. What's that? Oh, good question. Given how much I'm talking and how I'm intuiting what you're saying, I'm the speaker. So, when you're writing, think about what you know about me, about my personality. I'm a police officer for a weird organization. I have a professional but kind of prickly personality. Thanks for making me say that, writer. And I really don't want to be in this situation. There's not a lot of depth there compared to other media formats, but given that most ASMR videos are between 10 and 20 minutes, that's usually enough. This seems to be more of a plot-based narrative anyway. So, now that we know who I am as a character, we can start to worry about the dialogue. Now, some people struggle with writing dialogue and some don't, but it's kind of an important thing to know how to write when you're working on a script, since the story is essentially being told through it. Now, as a character, you need to make sure the dialogue sounds like something I'd say, while also moving the plot along. You also need to make sure it sounds realistic and interesting. It's not enough to just have it move the plot along, it's got to entertain the audience. Rather than just having me say everything perfectly like an emotionless CGI robot, make sure to add little imperfections to my dialogue. Kind of like how I'm talking now. I'm a human being, after all. Nobody's perfect. But what should be perfect is your structure. Really nice segue, by the way, writer. I'm impressed. Plot structure is super important in making your narrative interesting. If stuff just happens out of order and here and there and everywhere, people are going to check out. There's Nothing for them to grasp onto. So make sure your story has a beginning, middle, and an end. Make sure it sticks true to the rules you set for the world your characters are inhabiting. And don't let random stuff happen for no reason. An example? Let's say you're watching a movie, a romantic comedy or something. Then, all of a sudden, the characters turn into giant cockroaches out of nowhere, and the movie just doesn't mention it and keeps on moving. It'd be completely weird. It's a romantic comedy. There hasn't been anything setting that sort of thing up. It makes it seem like there's nothing keeping the plot together, and everyone's going to realize you don't know what you're doing. Now, plots like that can work. But again, you need to make it clear to the audience that that sort of thing is possible. And based on what we've been through so far, that would come completely out of left field. You're not making me say that just to set it up, are you, writer? Writer? Okay. I think we're good. So, you start typing on that laptop there and get some ideas flowing, all right? Don't do anything too crazy. Give us a happy ending. And make sure you proofread it when you're finished. Of course you should have good spelling and grammar. That goes without saying. People are going to be reading this. After all, you'll be posting to r/ScriptHaven, or maybe even submitting to a VA you like. Do you really want them to think you're illiterate or can't read too good? Now, you get back to writing, my friend. I'll give it a read through when you're done. Okay, you're done? Great. You've been typing like crazy over there. I'm really proud of you. You're really turning this whole side character thing around. Now, let's see what we've got here. Very nice. Well formatted, clearly laid out. Interesting byline. Oh, you put some little sound effect directions for the VA. Very ambitious of you. Hang on. They seem a bit familiar. Let me get a closer look. Wait. This is just what I've been saying. This whole thing, ever since we stopped kissing and making out, this script is just repeating that. Why would you write that? Unless... Oh no. You idiot! Don't you see what you've done? What the writer made you do? We're trapped in some kind of script loop as a twist reveal. The whole thing's just gonna keep repeating. We'll be making out, then I'll get the idea to write a script, then you'll write the script saying what we just did, and then we'll end up doing it all over again. We're gonna end up trapped like this. See? See what I mean? Let me read the top line. Ahem. Open bracket. We hear the sound of kissing, interrupted by the sound of beeping. Close bracket. Dialogue. Wait. Hang on. Is that the... That's what I said at the start of this script. I mean, I know people like to say write what you know, but all you have done is write what we just went through. And it's going to force us into reenacting this stuff over and over again. Even what I'm saying now is what you've written down. And looking ahead... Oh my God. We're in an NSFW script again. Come here. Let's get this over with. Mm-hmm. Mm. Wait, hang on. Is that the... Wait, stop. Get off of me, you weirdo. Get off. Hey there, cupcakes. Hope you're doing well. You know what's coming up? National Cupcake Day. I don't know how I'm going to celebrate. Truth be told, the deep, dark, nasty secret I've been hiding from everyone. I don't actually like to eat cupcakes. They're pretty to look at, and I like to decorate them, but too sweet. Anyway, I think you guys deserve it. I was a little surprised that you had a holiday, but you know what? You deserve it. I'm all on board. So, get ready to celebrate yourselves. December 15th, National Cupcake Day. You know who else we should be celebrating? Golden Proxy, because that weird and wonderful script that I just read was by Golden Proxy. And we've established this. I am a superfan. I am also a super fan of Kealoha and the Y Rider and Lion in Winter, who all have been very kind to me. For Hanukkah on my throne list, thank you guys, and happy Hanukkah. I would also like to thank and welcome Taylor Does Wraith to my Patreon. And Pez Dispenser. That's a good name. Nobody doesn't like a Pez dispenser. Welcome, Pez Dispenser. And, of course, the name changes. Flaws is now known as a flawless holiday season shall be gifted unto you, a beautiful soul. Aw, I like you, Flaws. Gang, congrats on 2 million views. I'm honored to have contributed. Thank you. Abel is now, my son John was tall and slim, he'd a leg for every limb. Now he's got no legs at all, 'cause he tried to race a cannonball. Oh my God. Man, old nursery rhymes were dark, so dark. We have Lion now, who has changed his name to, Dreamy's like a lily among brambles. Oh, brambles give us berries. I like brambles. That's why I'm in there. That's why I'm in the brambles. Crazy Crafter, a city of undercurrents where not everything is as it seems, a 20th century city that will become a model for the world. Duke has changed his name to Duke is getting lost looking at the stars the same way he gets lost when hearing Dreamy's voice. Duke is so smooth. For somebody who blushes so easily when I call him a cutie, he is so smooth. Duke, you got the riz. Now you gotta own it. Duke is now, Dreamy needs to stop thanking me. My ego will burst. Art has changed his name to Due amigable, organizado, un poco arsonista, mexicano de confianza. That, that accent strayed far from Spanish and toward Italian, but it is what it is. Bellamy is now, I walk in the valley of kings, I walk in the shadow of men who sold their lives to a dream. I didn't do it, nobody saw me do it, you can't prove a thing. And finally, Marius Darkwolf is now, on the 4th day of Dreaminess, my VA gave to me 4 invisible spy ladies. You're a goose. I adore you, you're a goose, you know that, right? And before I wrap up, I want to say hello to the bakers and pound cakes I haven't mentioned yet. Mr. Rickles, Anand, Sanantsan, Goose, the actual Goose, Kahlua Bear, Cody, Pierce the Evening Star, Tom Berry Shuffle, and Christian Kaleapa'a. Thank you guys for your support. And you know what I want you to do. Go be as good to yourselves as you are to me. I will talk to you tomorrow.